Really, I'm relieved you are taking this so well.
Where are you going?
I'm just gonna go check on things and think about landing. Would you mind putting your seatbelt on for me? That'd be great.
It's the second half of the movie where not only he becomes a generic, as we said, super agent, but it also becomes a generic action.
Well, it's what happens with these movies, you know. I mean, you can have so much fun, but then you have to, like, at some point go like, oh, yeah, we got to have the plot kick back in. And if it's not a strong plot, it kind of falls apart. I mean, this is that kind of movie where a lot of things don't make sense. You're right. It's screwball. It's fantasy. And the only thing that can save a movie like this is having characters who have charm, who are affable,
and
which
having
Tom Cruise
good
does.
dialogue.
And good dialogue.
Yeah.
Like, they can have just a few places that make you laugh, genuinely laugh, or some action sequence that kind of sneaks up on you, surprises you. It's what pushes it along. And for the first half or even 2/3, this movie does that.
I'm surprised by the level to which it did it to me, because it's implausible even past the A-Team, this film. I mean, way past the A-Team, I'd go so
I would
far.
say that they're probably on par with each other.
I wouldn't, because this movie is cavalier in the way that it goes past it. I mean, there's a sequence where there's like 20 guys shooting at him with machine guns, and Cameron Diaz is like, what, you're not happy to see me? And Tom Cruise turns around and casually walks past all the gunmen who are shooting at them to kiss her. I mean, just casually, gunshots going off everywhere.
What? That's
And,
not-
like,
You know what,
I
though?
know they're being attacked by the stormtrooper school, but you know, it's just like, okay, come on. There's just so much shit like this in here where the film throws it in your face, like, you know what? If you really are taking this seriously, you're an idiot. That it almost becomes kind of insulting on some level.
That's very true, and that's the one thing that really took me out of this movie. I mean, you guys obviously like it a lot more than I did, because as soon as that movie started, when you started hearing that fucking accordion start playing, like it came straight out of a Jean Reno film, like you know, everything was quirky, even during the gunfight scenes where you hear this fucking accordion start playing. Like, is fucking Weird Al stuck in this room? I'm sick of this shit.
That would have been
I
cool.
don't want an accordion mixing with my goddamn action sequence. For a second I was like, okay, Tom Cruise, he's the charming guy, but I got real sick of that real quick.
Really? See,
Really, I thought they should have done more with
Yeah.
him.
I thought that was part of what carried the film was Cruise, and I so rarely say that anymore.
Yeah,
but
we never
honestly,
say
this
that.
was like old school Cruise when
Yeah.
you were like, "Wow, he really is charming."
Well, that's
I like
yeah.
this guy. I want to see more
But
of
you know,
him
it's
being
the things
charming.
that he was doing, like his motivation, which I get. Yeah, okay, they're gonna turn it into some kind of romance between the two characters, which I was like, okay,
Became very
Yeah,
unconvincing.
the romance
very
was just
quickly.
kind of thrown together.
Well, that's
And it was thrown
exactly what happened here. See, the reason why I would say that this is probably more acceptable on certain terms than the A-Team is because this is more of a comedy than the A-Team, even though the A-Team is a fucking, Looney Tunes cartoon itself. But, I mean, here, what I liked about it is at the beginning, like I said, there was some chemistry going on. I mean, Tom Cruise, my favorite scene is in the restaurant where he tells everybody
Sure.
to get pie, and he's, like, talking to Cameron Diaz's ex-boyfriend. And that was like the peak of the movie for me, because that is where we get Tom Cruise as his most likable. Now, when they get into the spy thing where they both go overseas and it starts to get more into the romance, well then Tom Cruise, that personality just drops. I mean, he becomes like, hey, I'm just Mr. Cool now. I can do a
becomes
lot of things.
Less
but then,
interested in showing
Cameron
that charming
Diaz. Well, hold on,
Cruise.
Cameron Diaz. She just becomes a routine sidekick, and where before, like she did, as you say, co-host, these little quirky things that probably annoyed you at the beginning, because when they were on the plane and she's talking to herself in the mirror, I hate. First of all, that's a pet peeve of mine in movies where characters
Yes, I'm
go
glad
to a
you said that.
bathroom and they have a montage and just talking to themselves constantly for a long period. I hate that, but. After that, I got over it. I was like, I like her. But then she just becomes a sidekick, and she gets silly. There's a scene where they give us truth serum, and, it becomes one of those things where let's just let this actor just go. Let them ad-lib or whatever they're going to do.
It becomes True Lies, where it's like, all right, I'm watching Jamie Lee Curtis now.
But you
like,
love True Lies.
I do love it, but I loved it when James Cameron did it, not when whoever the fuck.
And it does that sequence in particular where they take advantage of that old fucking gimmick for a character change, for a relationship change between the characters. It doesn't sell here.
No, not at
You're
all.
so hyper aware of that. That's how they're manipulating this to sell you on that there's going to be a bonding between them. When right before that, they were like almost hating each other. Like, come on, man.
And that's what.
Well, he never hated her.
Well, he didn't because he's incapable of any emotion of any kind.
Oh, so
his
we-
character.
Just because they did that, that insulted me as an audience member. It's like, you know what, you're an idiot. You know, you're gonna take this mediocrity that I'm gonna give to you, that I'm gonna dish out to you, because hey, I got Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise doing it, and you're gonna fucking love it. And I'm gonna say no, I'm not gonna love it.
His character.
I love the movie co-host saw Tom
Yeah.
Cruise stopped in the middle of it
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, co-host,
You
check this
suck."
out," and just started making out with Cameron Diaz. And co-host was just going.
But he's Roger Moore's James Bond.
Hey,
Who's Tom
and you-
Cruise's
I
Bond.
called dibs on her from The Mask. You have no right.
Man, Mask, how many years? That was like 50 years ago.
But she was so hot.
She was hot.
She was
You know, hey,
otherworldly.
Cameron Diaz, I apologize.
And now she has become a mask.
I tell you what, though, you made a great point, Cyrus. You said that this is like taking the point of view of a Bond girl and you know, making a movie out of that.
But from
You know,
Roger Moore's era.
But
Yeah.
from Roger Moore's era. But you know what? I'm sure somebody may have thought of that and said, you know what, that's a stupid idea, and stopped right before they even picked up the pen. They should have done that with this movie, because I didn't care for it. I don't want to see the adventures of a Bond girl.
I liked it as a
Period.
conceit. That's part of what worked on it for me. There's halfway through when it went from where it started to go like, okay, well, you like Tom Cruise now, right? So we're done showing him being charming. So we'll just go to action. At that point, I was like, so what are you doing now? It's just kind of like flailing about that I realized that's what it was doing, and it sold me back on it looking at it from that point of
Yeah.
view, because I went, you know what? This really isn't any dumber than Moonraker or Octopussy or any of those films.
What did
It
you say
really,
about Moonraker?
no, it really isn't.
This
It's
seriously,
no
dude,
more.
Moonraker's a shitty Bond.
It's
You know
no
what?
more implausible than
Moonraker
those
was,
films.
was set in space. This movie would have made more sense if it was set in space.
Well, I mean, you make a good point, because I'm thinking, all right, you know what? It's just turned into a spy film, and they took all that humor that I liked out before. It's still there. It's just it's goofier and it's not working for me. But I was like, I can take it as, you know, a spy action film, but they don't give a shit about trying to make this shit believable at all. I mean, I'm not even talking about like crazy action. They do something in here. I'm talking about just stuff that they do. Like, there's one scene where I looked at Cyrus, I'm like, what? Because they get on a motorcycle, then they cut to the outside of this building. It's a big, giant, oak, thick-ass door, and they come crashing through it like they
Right.
just came through crackers. You know?
Right. Anybody
And then
who's
the
rode a
plot-
motorcycle, no, it takes
Yeah.
nothing to make you fall over on a bike.
No, Tom Cruise, he can get hit by a truck, have a boulder fall on him, get hit by arrows and bullets, and even a coyote look at him and be like, damn!
Well,
Well, the spy organization says, like, hey, we've invested too much in you. And clearly, what they invested in was a lot of cybernetics in him, because he's half robot. That's how he's able to do all
It's
these
the
things.
only possible explanation. Plus, he must have some sort of reality amplifier
Yeah,
or something,
he's got a
because
personal force
shit
field.
just totally happens in the most convenient way around him in any
yeah.
particular situation. Like, I'm going to open this door at exactly the right moment, just by accident, and it's going to fly off and hit this other
Well,
thing.
what he did
And-
was he just like set his VCR to watch Commando for 24 hours on a loop.
No, pretty much,
There's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
He's like, hey, okay, mercenaries cannot shoot,
Wait,
so
hold
I don't have to worry about dodging bullets.
Hold on, I have to stop you right there. Did you just say there's nothing wrong with it being like Commando?
There's nothing wrong with watching Commando on a continuous loop.
So
I just
your
said that.
implausibility meter for Commando is fine.
Well, that's good. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, stop
all
it.
right.
I knew there was a
Come
flaw
on.
in there.
Yeah, there was a major
Sorry.
flaw in the
No,
argument.
Tom Cruise, like, first, 15, 20 minutes, he's jumping across the highway, and I was like, is this like a live
So-
version of fucking Frogger? All of a sudden? Is that what this is the best video game movie of all time right